Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome to the Loops YouTube Masterclass. We're gonna try to convey as much as I know about this godforsaken website in probably a lot of time. It's probably gonna take a little while. So grab a snack, get a drink, and let's get into it. So what I'm gonna try to do in this video is just convey as much information as I possibly can about building a successful YouTube channel. And the reason why I wanted to do it in this way is because I see a lot of other YouTube channels that are talking about similar topics, doing so in like bite-sized videos that are about 8 minutes long that just cover like one little quick tip. So there's like a YouTube channel that will be about growing a YouTube channel, and then their videos are just, here's a tip, here's a tip, here's a tip, here's a tip, here's a tip. And that's cool. But I think there is a type of person who has absorbed a ton of tips over time, but still doesn't feel like they understand like the fundamentals of how to grow a channel. And that's an incredibly frustrating experience. And I think that they need a video that maybe is an hour long, or however long this video is, but it tells them in simple terms exactly what they need to be doing to get started, to get the ball rolling. And I feel like, to some degree, I'm qualified to speak about this because I was able to grow this YouTube channel up to nearly 7,000 subscribers now over the course of roughly a month. As you can see, I have most of those subscribers in these last 28 days. I was able to get monetized within like my first week and a half, and now we've gained about $500 off of this. That's pretty nice. I have posts that have garnered thousands of votes, right? That's pretty good. And in general, our stuff was pushed out to over 3 million people. Where is that? 3 million impressions. Especially if I zoom out and include the last 90 days. We're approaching nearly 4 million impressions, and you can see that we really got started here on the 27th. And even before this, my career was in advertising, where I was running a lot of ads on YouTube. So I was having conversations literally with YouTube's representatives on the back end, talking about, you know, how their ads get run, how they're placed on the platform and stuff like that. And it taught me a lot about the way that YouTube works and the way that YouTube gets monetized. And I think that background understanding helps me understand what YouTube is looking for in videos and in content on this side of things. So to get into the meat and potatoes of everything, I think baseline, the most important thing that I want to instill in you is a strong mental fortitude. There is a lot about YouTube that can be trying, either from just uploading a bunch of videos and them not taking off, them not getting off the ground, or from like mean comments and stuff like that, or just disparaging words that are being tossed at you. And I think that can be a lot mentally to overcome. And so before you even get started, I want to try to at least say that and prepare you for that, because it's going to be really, really important for keeping you on the correct course. One of the most valuable things I think that you can do is to be able to say at the moment that you are uploading the video that it is a good video that accomplished your goals, right? So if I come to my content and I look at my most recent video, this Battle Craze video, it has about 900 views. And this is what YouTube deemed a 10 of 10 video. That means of the 10 most recent videos that I've uploaded, this is the video that performed the worst. It had the lowest views per hour of any video I had uploaded of my last 10 videos. However, this is a good video. It's not my best video, but it's a good video. And the reason that it's a good video is because it accomplished my goals. Battle Craze is an indie fighting game that I haven't covered on my channel at all. And it has a very small audience, and the point of uploading this video was to try to get it in front of more people to be able to give it a little bit of an audience. And understandably, I think, you know, there just aren't that many people who are looking for this content or know what Battle Craze is, or, you know, is interested in this. So it has less views. But I could predict that when I made the video. So it having less views isn't like a negative outcome for me. It's what I expected. And if we go look at another example, I also have this video down here where I talked about frame data. And at the time, this was also a very low performing video. You can see it's sitting between like 20K, 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 right? And it only has the 2000. But does that mean this is a bad video? No. If I go and I watch this video, I feel like I covered the topic fairly well. And it might just have low interest because either you've already been in the FGC for a while and you know what frame data is and you don't need a video refreshing you on it, or you're new and the idea of learning about frame data is too overwhelming and you're not interested in hearing about that shit right now. You want a video about not losing to mashing, right? So, or how to remain calm, right? So the point is that at the, these metrics don't matter. Like, obviously you want these things to look good, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to determine at the moment of upload that this is a video that I think is good and it accomplished my goals that I set out to achieve. So what is a good video? What is YouTube going to push out to people and get in front of as many people as possible? YouTube is looking for content that users click on, that users watch for a significant period of time, and is reliable. So first things first, YouTube needs to see that people are clicking on the video. This will be represented by this impressions click-through rate. And the click-through rate is the relationship between impressions, which are, an impression is any time YouTube puts your video in front of somebody as an option to click on, and the views, the number of people that actually clicked on the video once they were shown an impression of it. So here it's about 6.5%. If we're talking about, what was the other one? The period of time that they watch it, that's related to this average view duration. Now, what's important to know about this average view duration is that it's represented as a whole value. And as you can see, it actually says that this value is less than usual. But this video still has 2,000 views. It was still pushed out to, at this point, 250,000 people by now. So where was it? The fact that this has a lower viewer retention than usual doesn't actually matter. What you're looking for is what is the relationship between this average view duration and the actual duration of the video. Because sure, this average view duration is lower than usual, but this video length is lower than usual. So if this is like 70% of what my view duration might usually be, but the video is half the duration that it would usually be, then this is still a good outcome overall, regardless of whatever this gray arrow is saying. And in terms of reliability, what we're describing is a type of video that YouTube can figure out who it's for and put it in front of that person and have a very high degree of confidence that they're going to click on it. So you'll notice that over a period of about a month, the click-through rate in general has gone up because, YouTube has stopped showing it to a bunch of people. But even though it's showing it to less and less people, it now has a very high degree of confidence that when it shows it to that person, they're going to click on the video. And if we go and look at the average view duration, the average view duration hasn't dipped over time. It hasn't grown over time, but it's been consistent over time. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about reliability. YouTube can figure out who it's for. It can put it in front of that person, predicting that they're going to be able to click on it. And when they click on it, they watch the video for the predicted period of time. So the question then is, how do we go about accomplishing those goals? It comes down to two major things: your packaging and then the actual substance of the video. So your packaging is your title, your thumbnail, the first 30 seconds of your video, and these are the three things that people talk about the most. But it's also down to your channel name, your channel's profile picture, and also the view count that is on the video, not talked about enough. When it comes to the substance of your video, the substance of your video is all down to how does this video help somebody else? What is the value in this video for another person? A trap that people fall into is that they don't realize it, but they end up making videos about themselves. It's always framed through like, here's my journey to gold rank, here's this secret tech that I found, whoa, here's this sick combo I hit, right? It's all videos that are about them. And what they don't realize is that because nobody on YouTube knows about them yet, there's no interest in your journey. There's no other way to say it. People just don't care about you yet. They don't have a reason to. And so if you're trying to build up, you need to start from a framework of how do I help other people? And if you are able to help other people in some way, then they will start to care about you. And through their care about you, you will be able to open up and make other types of content after that. How does YouTube go about recommending your content? Before you have your first 1,000 subscribers, the way that YouTube recommends your content is by looking at the metadata of your channel and of the video itself to try to figure out who it's for and puts it in front of those people. So starting from the channel, if we come down to settings and then we go to channel, you'll see that you can set tags for your channel. Here I have like FGC, tutorial guide, fighting game community. I've got Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, fighting games, and 2XKO, right? These are just tags that people might associate with my channel. And if we come and we look at one of my videos, especially like some of my early ones, I've got this Leo guide. Let's just click on it. If we look at the tags, it's pretty straightforward. Tekken 8 gameplay, Tekken 8 Leo. I did this gameplay, no commentary. I'm actually going to remove that. Gameplay demo customization. I think I just put in a couple of shitty tags, actually. This is, I'm pretty sure, Leo Kleisen in Korean, Leo tutorial, Leo guide. So in general, this is all like mostly relevant tags. There were a couple in here that weren't. But I didn't try to fill out like all 500 of these tags. I didn't try to game the system. I'm not like in my description, you know, typing out as many different Tekken keywords as I possibly can. The description is actually really succinct. It's just a short description that might intrigue somebody into clicking on it. The point is that, and then you also set Tekken 8 as the game title. The point is that I'm not attempting to game the system. We're not trying to trick the system. We're not trying to overload it with keywords. I'm not putting in Tekken 8 Lee, Tekken 8 Raven, Tekken 8 Shaheen, Tekken 8 Fang. You know, I'm not trying to overload it, right? We're trying to give YouTube the most accurate information about the video that we possibly can, and we're trying to keep it succinct. There's a lot of things that people will do in an attempt to game the system, like, you know, they upload a video and then in the first few hours it doesn't pop off, so they delete the video and then they try to re-upload it again. All you're doing when you do these sorts of things on YouTube is you're telling YouTube that you are not a reliable person, you're not a trustworthy person, and you're attempting to game their system. Why on earth would YouTube recommend your content if you are trying to operate in this way? If you just keep it simple, put only the things that are the most relevant to your content, you're not going to confuse YouTube, and YouTube will be able to put your video in front of the people that it's relevant to. Now, once you reach your first 1,000 subscribers, it begins to take a bit of a different shape. So what will happen with a video once you've reached 1,000 subscribers is that it will first show the video to your subscriber base. It'll do that for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. And then depending on how your audience responds to it and the segments of your audience that respond well to it, it will then go on to push out the video to a wider audience that looks like that subsection of your audience. So what this ends up meaning is that if we go and look at this, you'll see in this first hour, and indeed in this first day of this video, because it's kind of skewed by that first hour, the click-through rate of this video is much higher than it ends up being in the next 2 days. Because on this first day, again, it was still being shown to my subscribers first and foremost. And after that, it starts to get shown to a wider audience of people, and then, you know, it sort of dips off a bit. And so your question might be, okay, if I have more than 1,000 subscribers, or if I'm going to eventually get more than 1,000 subscribers, that's my goal. If the system shows my content to my subscribers first, and then recommends it to other people based on how they respond, does that mean that I need to be in a consistent niche? Do I need to serve the same audience every single video that I make? And the answer is yeah, kind of. If you are looking for consistent, predictable growth, then you need to be in a specific niche. If you're struggling to figure out what your niche is or what you are going to be able to talk about for the next however many years you tend to be doing this, the easiest thing that I recommend to do is just to look internally and to ask yourself, like, what type of content would you be interested in watching? So when I made this first video, this Leo is unstoppable in Tekken 8, and it's, you know, an hour and a half long. The reason that I uploaded this video was because I wanted to like basically lay down and go to sleep watching a long form like Tekken replay, but I couldn't find any for Leo when I was looking online. There just wasn't anybody uploading that type of video. So I uploaded this because this is what I would want to see. I thought about, you know, if I was a new player, what would I be struggling with? What would I want to know about so that I could get better? And then I made this video. You know, what else is there? This, It's Okay to Lose. This is just a long form stream where I was playing a bunch of Shaheen. And the point of this was just to show people that, like, when you're learning a new character, you're going to lose a lot, and it's fine. Sometimes when people are watching streamers, they only see the victories, and it can feel a little bit bad in comparison. They're like, damn, why don't I win this much? So I wanted something to be available that's just like, hey, when I'm learning, I lose too. It's totally okay. And it's important to know that your niche is not so specific as the topic that you cover. Your niche is also the way that you cover it and like your voice and your style and just you, the you that you bring to it. There's obviously a bunch of people that make like Tekken related guides and tutorials and videos, but there's nobody who does it quite in the same way that I do it. And that isn't me saying that my style's better, by the way. That's just me saying that my style is different. Somebody might watch a guide from another creator and it just doesn't resonate or it doesn't work for them. And they might watch my guide and it might, or vice versa. So some people come into the game worrying that like their niche is oversaturated, they won't be able to find their own space within it. But like the you that you bring to your content is the sub niche that gives you a unique voice and a unique personality within the space. And it's important to try to think of this, I think, as a collaborative effort. You know, I'm not competing with other tech and content creators. I'm just working alongside them to try to educate as many people as I can. And when you think about it in that framework, I think it just works out better for everybody. Because if I wake up one morning and I see that while I was asleep, FightyX uploaded a video that was about a specific topic, then I can go, oh, great, FightyX covered this topic. Now I don't have to talk about it for the next like 2 days or not 2 days. That would be way too quick. But I don't have to talk about this for the next month or so because there's current up-to-date video about this that I think works for my audience already. There's no reason for me to try to like cut in and make the same topic, right? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't help our audience any further. If you are somebody who is creating videos for people that are interested in those topics and you're producing quality content with good sound packaging, then your success is going to be inevitable. It doesn't matter how saturated that market is. I also talk to a lot of people, and myself included, who are concerned about like, can I switch niches? You know, if I start making content about a specific topic, am I locked into that topic forever? And I think it's a valid concern. My view is that you have to take care of your mental health above all things. So you have to try to build a channel that works for you and not against you. And what this means is that when you're developing your niche, you need to make it as wide or as narrow and as varied or as singular as you can stand, pretty much. And you're never locked into a single topic. But what I will say is some people try to wield their channel like they're nunchucks. So they're just, today I feel like talking about this, and tomorrow I feel like talking about this, and then the next day I'm going to talk about this over here, and they're just flicking around all over the place, right? You need to wield your channel like it's a broadsword. And it's going to be slow. It's going to be deliberate. When you want to cover a new topic, you should ask yourself, am I willing to talk about this new topic for at least 3 videos? And if you're not, then maybe it's not something that you want to talk about. You know, for me, again, a video like this for Battle Craze or a video like this for Gundam. My point is just to get these games in front of people. It's not necessarily to like cover these games in depth. So I'm able to just make these one-offs and then, you know, maybe they get only 1,000 views or whatever. But I still feel fine about it because it's just, you know, I don't personally care about it. But in general, if you're trying to min-max, if you're trying to have the most consistent, reliable growth possible, then you want to cover topics for about 3-ish videos. So what I think happened for my channel that initially got its success is, here, I'll just expand this to 50 videos. When I first uploaded this Leo video, it actually didn't do that great. So if we look at impressions, you know, this first day it got 17,000. That's actually not that bad now that I'm looking at it. Am I entirely fucking wrong? Am I delusional? No, I think that video did okay. Was it this one? Oh, yeah. This one, you know, it took like the first few days before it actually took off. Yeah. And then what was up with this video here? Yeah, you can see it's like a little bit slow on that first day and then it starts to ramp up after that. Yeah. It goes to like 50K the next day. So what I think happened was here, it's like, okay, this channel is about Tekken 8. And then here it further solidified, okay, this video or this channel is about Tekken 8. And then here it starts to say, okay, this video or this channel rather is about Tekken 8, but it's also about Leo in Tekken 8. And then it's able to start driving a bunch of views to these 2 videos because there is a pattern of talking about Leo in Tekken 8. And then I remember up here when I uploaded this video about Lee, and then on the same day I went live and I was talking about Lee on this stream as well. I noticed in my algorithms and in my, in my analytics like research section, it started recommending me things that I could talk about for Lee in Tekken. So YouTube started to associate my content on that day with specifically Lee and Tekken. Whereas you'll notice I've talked about Battle Craze, I've talked about Street Fighter, I've talked about, Gundam. Those topics are not being recommended to me in my research section, right? So my point is that it takes multiple videos for YouTube to start to interpret this channel, this content is for this topic. I should start recommending it to people in that area, right? You really need to be steadfast in what your identity is and what your niche is, and you can't allow yourself to be swayed by too many things. So, for example, if you've paid attention in some of my videos, I've said a bunch of times that I'm not primarily a Tekken player, I'm a fighting game player, and I happen to be talking about Tekken a lot right now because it's really exciting. I'm enjoying playing the game, you're enjoying playing the game, we're all talking about that. And even though this channel has blown up because of the success surrounding Tekken 8, I cannot allow myself to be swayed into becoming solely a Tekken content creator. What that would mean for me is that my success is entirely tied to the success or failures of Tekken, and I don't want to be in that position. I don't want to be in a position of like 4 years from now, there's a really shitty meta where people are not enjoying playing the game, and then I'm not able to pay my bills that month. That can't be me. That's not going to be me. I'm going to be a channel that talks about all fighting games. I don't care what these first 6,000 people showed up for necessarily. There will be more people who show up, and eventually my subscribers, more of them will be people that are looking for any kind of fighting game content that they can get their hands on. Or rather, there will be people who like the way that I talk about fighting games or the ways that I talk about various different topics. And so if we go and we look at like my analytics, it's easy to see like, okay, when I'm talking about Tekken, line go up. When I stop talking about Tekken, line go down. But the subscriber line go up, okay? It's like, sure, maybe you'll lose a subscriber here and there where they're like, oh, this person isn't talking about Tekken, I gotta get out of here, right? But in general, this is going to go up every day. So you can't get too bogged down in like, it's going up more slowly. It's just like, okay, Tekken 8 came out. There was a bunch of excitement. I had a really great growth period. Maybe that continues, maybe it doesn't. Whatever the case may be, there will be more growth periods in the future. And right now, I can focus on building up my baseline. I can focus on expanding my audience, reaching new people, and, maybe it won't be as fast or as exciting, but it will be reliable. And more important than that, it's in line with my vision for what my content is about. All right, now that we've gone down that rabbit hole, let's talk about substance and packaging more in depth. When it comes to substance, I think that, again, it has to be a video that is in service to another person in some way. So what are the different ways that a video can be valuable to another person? I think the three major ones are education, entertainment, and storytelling. Now, I think in order of difficulty, education is probably the easiest to get off the ground. Storytelling is probably the second. And then entertainment is the hardest way to build a channel, I think. Here's why. When a person is looking to be educated, they need to be educated about a topic. So, my car just broke down. I think it's because of this thing. Let me look it up so that I can fix it, right? That type of thing. They don't need a video about cooking in that moment. They need a video specifically about the thing that they need help with. When a person is looking to be entertained, they might be in the mood for something. Like they might be in the mood to laugh, but they don't need to be entertained about a specific topic. You see what I'm saying? So when you make an entertainment channel, you are necessarily competing with like Mr. Beast, or you're competing with Netflix, or you're competing with the NFL, or you're competing with whoever, because a person does not need to be entertained about something. They just need to be entertained in a way. Storytelling is maybe a weird one, but the way that storytelling provides value is when a person is able to see themselves in your story. So remember, again, an audience does not care about you yet. So a story about your life is not inherently interesting. What's interesting is if they're able to put themselves in your shoes, if they're able to see themselves in you, if they're able to say, I remember when I went through something similar, I felt this way too. And they're able to like learn and grow alongside you, right? That is the value of storytelling. And it's important to remember that these things can live together. So like, for example, videos on my channel are mostly education with a little bit of entertainment as I throw in like my own sense of humor, my own jokes or whatever. I don't do a whole lot of storytelling. Not to say that I won't ever do storytelling, but it's just not, that's not what my content has been so far. And the most important thing is that you have to make a video that is enjoyable to watch. It doesn't need to be the most cleanly edited thing that you can make. It doesn't need to be super flashy or, you know, whatever, right? It can be simple. But if you watch your own video and you don't enjoy it, then something has gone wrong. You have to be able to enjoy watching your own video. And if you don't, try to figure out why and then try to fix it. But you can't progress past that point. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a perfect, like highly polished, well-executed video. It just has to be enjoyable and preferably helpful in some way. All right, now let's talk about packaging. When it comes to packaging, it's important to understand that while I'll talk about some elements like titles or thumbnails in isolation, all of these elements live and work together. So they can't be separated. So for example, if you have a title that says Street Fighter 6 tier list, you should not also put the text Street Fighter 6 tier list in your thumbnail. You're wasting space. There's no reason to do that, right? Another thing is that when people are trying to design their packaging, their title and their thumbnail for YouTube, they'll often get advice that tries to point them towards search. So including like keywords in their title, their description, their tags. We sort of touched on this earlier. And I just want to point out that search is a fucking wash, okay? Look at search. I've looked up Tekken 8 Leo guide, right? We scroll down, we get Leo guide, Leo guide, Leo guide, Leo guide. Okay, cool. Leo 98 damage combo. Okay, that's not really a guide, but you know, we'll take it. Lightning glare explained. That's a guide. We'll take that. Parry tutorial, that's a guide. Instant pickup guide, that's a guide. This is a VOD, this is not a guide. People also watched. Okay, so a bunch of stuff that have nothing to fucking do with what I typed in. Law versus Lars. Hey, look, it's me. A bunch of other shit that also has nothing to do with what I typed in. More shit that has nothing to do with what I typed in. Shorts, for some reason. Like, respectfully, what is Lil Majin King doing here? What are we doing, right? And like, sure, we scrolled down for a bit, but the point that I'm trying to say is, even in search, this is the homepage. It's still recommending you stuff that has nothing to do with what you're searching. So why would you try to fight for these spots in search? Especially when you could make a video with a title and thumbnail that's targeted for the homepage. And where's my shit? Where am I at? You still end up in search anyway. So why even play this game? Instead, if we go and we look at my analytics, you see that the vast majority of my views come from browse features, that being mostly the homepage. The other follow-ups are suggested videos, my channel page, and then YouTube search way after that. So the other thing is that the people that are going to use YouTube search to search for a specific keyword is like such a smaller percentage of an audience than YouTube could find by recommending it on the browse page anyway. So rather than designing all of our shit to be searchable, let's just design something that intrigues a person when they see it. And then, you know, then we get lines like this. Okay, so titles and thumbnails. One of the most important things I think about these two is that you want to build up a consistent and recognizable style. So people at this point, they know what my thumbnails look like. They know how my titles look, right? It's like a 4-word title. It's got punctuation at the end. It's got a bold outline and then a desaturated character in the middle of it. That's what a loops video looks like at this point. And so what that means is, because when I upload, YouTube tries to show all my videos to my subscribers on the homepage again first, what it means is I need my thumbnail to stand out from everybody else's in the crowd. So the trap that people will fall into when they're trying to design thumbnails is they'll go and they'll look at other successful creators in their niche and they'll just try to replicate what their thumbnails look like. That is the exact wrong way to approach it. You do not want to look like everybody else's thumbnail. All you do is make it like less likely for somebody to click on yours and less likely to click on the other person's. It's just not helpful for anybody. What you need to do is design a thumbnail that is uniquely and distinctly yours, and a title that is unique to you. Your audience needs to, at a glance, be this person uploaded a video. I'm excited as fuck. Let me click on that. If you are struggling to try to find your own visual identity, what I would recommend doing is just going through YouTube and trying to refresh a bunch. And whenever you see a thumbnail that catches your attention, try to take notes and think through like what about it caught your attention and if you like it and if you would replicate it and whatnot. So one of the thumbnails that I actually based this visual style off of was this one. I was just on YouTube and I happened to see this thumbnail. So again, you instantly recognize it's got the red background, it's got the desaturated character in the middle. And the reason this caught my attention is because usually you see like the exact opposite of this. Like usually there's like a background that doesn't call too much attention to itself and then like a focus right in the middle that has like more color or whatever. So I thought that this was visually interesting and it caught my eye. And so I sort of developed my own style looking similar to this. However, before you come for me, just know that if we go to my Instagram, I was still making edits that look very similar to this back in 2019 before the pandemic, all right? So I didn't steal this guy's style. I already had this style, and then this person sort of reminded me, yeah, I guess that could work for a thumbnail, huh? That's pretty interesting, all right? Everybody settle the fuck down. When you're trying to sort this out, you want to create a title and a thumbnail that is for a person, to intrigue a person. Don't try to trick an algorithm. Don't try to rank for a specific keyword. Fuck all of that. Just make a good looking thumbnail and a title that attracts a person. Personally, I've found that the less noisy that I make my thumbnails, the better they perform. So these are just, I think, thumbnails that just simply look nice, right? Just one subject right in the middle, pretty close up. Doesn't, there's not like an arrow, there's no text, there's not, this is maybe like one of the noisiest ones that I have. And yeah, just try to keep it simple. The more stuff that you put in your thumbnail, the harder it is to make out the details for your viewer and the more you confuse them. And I think another thing that I've kind of thought about is that like, when it comes to making a thumbnail specifically, like people pay money to go to an art museum and businesses have to pay for billboards to put in front of you. Does your thumbnail look like something at an art exhibit or does your thumbnail look like a billboard? Is your thumbnail something that's pleasant to look at or is your thumbnail an advertisement? You do with that what you will. During your first 30 seconds of your video, it's important to know that your audience has not yet decided if they want to watch this video or not. They're still trying to decide. That is why if you go and you click on almost any of these videos, if we go and we look at the watch time, where is it? Engagement, yeah, here. The steepest drop off is always going to be in these first 30 seconds. Always, always, always. So the more that you can retain people during these first 30 seconds, the smoother the rest of this line will be. So how do you do that? The way that you keep people engaged in those first 30 seconds is first, you have to confirm that the video that they clicked on is the video that they're seeing in front of them. You have to let them know that whatever you've mentioned in the title and in the thumbnail is going to be covered in this video. They have clicked on the correct thing. They're in the right place. You are going to cover that topic. The other one is, again, this person is not here for you. They do not care. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Loops. Today I'm going to be covered. Fuck all that. Immediately you want to start talking about them. You want to literally say the word you. I'll start a video. I'll be like, so you've been playing Tekken for a couple of weeks now and you've been trying to sidestep because you know it's a 3D game, and every time you sidestep you just get clipped. You get hit by the opponent and you're not sure when you're supposed to be sidestepping. You get really frustrated, and today we're going to try to talk about that. We're going to try to see when you should be sidestepping. I don't say I a single fucking time, except for obviously here, right? Ignore that. Ideally, you don't say I a single time. It's all about them, the issue that they're going through, the negative emotion that they're having, whatever. It's all about them. The other important thing about the first 30 seconds is that when a user is on mobile, and even, if we're here and then we like hover over this, the video immediately starts playing, and it starts playing muted. So you have to, within your first few seconds, also visually confirm that what you're going to be showing has to do with the video. So ironically, I think this is probably hurting Ayo Richie a little bit because, the video is about Leo's combos are amazing, but when I hover, he's just talking and then he, does a plug for the YouTube and then it pops up and it's got, a comment here. When is he going to show the combo? Okay, all right, now we're in training mode. But you know, would somebody else hover for? I mean, we're still 15 seconds in, and we still haven't seen anything, right? But if I had hovered over this, and immediately it was Leo doing like a 98 hit combo, or not a 99, that would be truly absurd. A 98 damage combo, then it would be like, shit, like this is a video where I'm gonna learn a lot about combos. You know, this might have like 10K views instead of the 5.4 that it has. This isn't a call out of anybody. Obviously, these are things that I think about, right? This is stuff that I think is important. We'll talk about view count, but I acknowledge that this isn't something that you really have direct control over. It's just important to understand the relationship that the viewer count on a video has with the level of intrigue that the video has. So people use view counts as a kind of social proof. What that means is the higher the view count is, the better people associate the video with being, right? They're like, this guide has 100,000 views. This has got to be like the best guide for this character that, you know, anybody's ever seen, right? So the reason that's important to understand is because what it means is the lower your views are, the shittier people think that your video is. But that has a relationship both with the time that the video's been out and also the reputation of your channel, right? So if you, for example, you are a relatively new YouTuber, you don't have a lot of views, you don't have a lot of subscribers, but the first video that you've uploaded has like 8,000 views on it. That's pretty impressive. That's some pretty good social proof. People are more likely to click on the video because they're like, I've never heard of this person before, but they've already got 8,000 views. That's pretty good. If you are PewDiePie and you uploaded a video like a week ago and that video has 800 views, people are like, damn, this has got to be the worst shit he's ever uploaded in his life. He's got like tens of millions, hundreds of millions, I think, of subscribers. He uploaded a video. It's got like a good thumbnail. It's got like a good title. Like the fundamentals seem there. But when people clicked on it, they must have fucking hated it for it to only have 900 views, right? So people use views as a way to gauge how good or bad a video is. What does that mean for you? What that means is the more professional that you make your title and thumbnail look, the higher the standards people have for that video. So sometimes what will happen is people will get on YouTube, they want to make a new YouTube channel, and they'll pay somebody on Fiverr to like come up with like a really, really nice looking thumbnail and a really, really nice looking title. And the only problem is they don't have the viewership and they don't have the video making skills to produce a video that lives up to that title and thumbnail. And so when it inevitably has, you know, like only 30 views after a week or so, people are like, wow, that's a really nice looking thumbnail, but that person has no views. That video must have fucking bombed. That video must blow. How is a professional, somebody who can make a thumbnail like this, making a video that's so dog shit, right? So ironically, I think that there is a world where you want to make your titles and your thumbnails look less professional to show off that like you're new in a way. And so when people click on your video, they anticipate that you're like a growing YouTuber and you're a learning YouTuber. And the content that they're being delivered is congruent with what you were delivering on that title and that thumbnail. That doesn't mean to make it look shitty. That just means don't try to emulate like what professionals make their videos look like. Again, you're new. Try to make your own distinct style and try to make it somewhat simple, I think. In terms of your channel name and your profile picture, it's really just a distinction between, is your channel an individual or is your channel a brand? If your channel is you, the individual, then just try to be authentic. My name's Loops. People call me Loops in real life, like at locals. I drew a silly little guy in MS Paint. That's me. If I was a brand and it's not entirely about me, then I would want to try to think about like what are the values of that brand and of the people that are going to be working on this channel, and what do we want to work towards. And so, you know, if I were to keep my exact same value system and just try to emulate it as a brand and try to scale it and have like multiple people working on videos or whatever, maybe I would name this channel like, I don't know, some bullshit like the Peace of Mind FGC Collective or some shit. Either way, I don't think you want to overcomplicate this. Like whether you're an individual or whether you're a brand, it's all people. Like your brand is also comprised of people. So you just want to try to humanize yourself, your brand, And if you humanize all of those people, then I think that you're able to make a much stronger connection with your audience. Some miscellaneous notes. You do want to have a regular upload schedule, and I think you want it to align with the style of content that you're making. So I upload very, very frequently because my video editing style it's very low maintenance. It doesn't take a lot to be able to make my stuff. Most of the work is in coming up with the ideas, planning, prepping what I want to say, and then just delivering it. Everything past that is honestly very easy, so I can crank out a video a day. If you're somebody who wants to do really in-depth research and create really in-depth like character guides, video essays, maybe you're only able to upload a video once a week, once a month, once every 2 months, whatever. But the point is that you want it to align with whatever the like quality of your videos is. And you also want it to, you want it to be consistent. Consistency doesn't mean showing up every single day. Consistency means showing up reliably and predictably. Sometimes I feel like YouTube is like sort of testing me, where like videos that should in theory do very well don't do very well, and videos that I don't think should do very well do very well. And it's just about having the patience and the peace of mind to be able to continue to show up day after day and keep making videos even during the lulls. And then like eventually you're going to power through those lulls and you're going to hit another spike eventually. You just have to keep showing up. In terms of dealing with negative comments, I think, the number one thing is, again, being able to say, this is a good video. I accomplished my goals with this video at the moment that you are uploading it. If you're able to do that, then nobody can really touch you mentally. All the time, I have people that will hop onto my videos and be like, hey, you forgot to mention this, this, and this. This video sucks. Like, why would you not go like this far in depth with the video? Like, I don't understand. This sucks, right? And I just have to be like, I don't even respond to these people, because if they're being rude, then I just delete the comment. But, I have to have the peace of mind of being like, well, my goal wasn't to divulge every single thing that you could ever know about being thrown in the entire game. My goal was, can I convey like 60 to 70% of the information that people need to know about throws in Tekken within like 5 to 8 minutes? Because if I could do that, then, the next like 30%, like getting up to 90% of the information, that's going to take like half an hour. Somebody else can do that in their own video. And if you want to get like all of the information that you need about throws in the entire game, that's going to take like days, right? I'm not fucking with that. Can I convey most of what somebody needs to know in a couple of minutes and get the fuck out of here? That's my goal. And as so long as I know I accomplished my goal, it doesn't matter what some dipshit in my comments is saying. He doesn't know what my goals are. They have no power over me. And I do think that it is important to weed the garden. There's no shame. It's not about like having a weak mental or anything. If people are being nasty and they're being rude in your comments, you have every right to just remove them, right? So I'll just show you an example. I'm not going to actually remove anybody, but say Slam Tactics, he called me a slur. What I could do is I could click this hide user from channel, and what it would do is it would just hide all of his comments. This user would not get a notification about this, and anytime he clicked on my videos, he would still see his comments there. So it's not like he would go make an alt account and start yelling at me on there. It just, on my end, I never have to look at the comments again. My users don't have to look at the comments again, or my audience doesn't have to look at the comments again, rather. And it just creates a better viewing experience. And I think this is important because when people come to your videos and they come to your comment section, they don't want to see a bunch of people being fucking nasty and spiteful all the fucking time. They want to, at least, in the type of environment that I'm trying to facilitate, I'm trying to create an environment where people are learning without shame and without embarrassment. And so I need people to be able to come into my comment section and feel like they're not going to be yelled at, they're not going to be shouted down. People are going to answer their questions with sincerity. And if that is not the case, then I'm fucking up as the content creator. If somebody is being rude to you in your literal very first interaction with them, then this is not somebody that you want to be able to come and comment on multiple videos in a row. You don't want them showing up to your live stream and fucking with your mood or anything like that. You need to take care of these people, man. Dealing with the negative comments is a boon for yourself. It's for your audience. It's better all around. Just do it. There's no shame. There's no guilt. Touching more on video outros, you need to make it as brief as possible. The literal moment that somebody realizes you are delivering an outro, they will click off of the video. So as soon as you have finished making your point, you ideally would like to have some kind of end screen that recommends another video. If you already know another video in your catalog that would be useful to the person that you're talking to in this video, you can try to recommend them that video and try to get them over there. But if you don't feel like you have that, you could also just create an end screen that YouTube has a way that you can basically just have it recommend a video. So if I go to, is it editor? Yeah, and then this end screen, one of these two, end screen, yeah. This element is just best for viewer. So it just algorithmically detects whatever video it thinks the person is more likely to click on and just recommends that one, right? So the point is, when you're doing an outro, make it very brief, recommend them to go watch another thing, and then dip, right? Don't dilly-dally. If you dilly-dally, then it's just going to fuck with your user retention, and then it's going to mess with your channel analytics, and you don't want that. And I'm gonna wrap up this video by just reiterating the point. YouTube cannot be gamed. You cannot trick it. You cannot scam it. You cannot delete your video and try to re-upload it and try to get it to go back into the algorithm. You can't load it up with keyword. You can't game it. You cannot game it. Stop trying to game it. What you have to do is create videos that are engaging and fun to watch. You have to package it in a way that attracts somebody who would want to watch that style of content. And you need to sit back, be patient, and also be consistent. You have to show up regularly, not every day necessarily, but you have to continue to show up. You have to continue to upload videos. And I promise, I swear to God, it will eventually work over time. Like, sure, if I scroll down and I go to my last video, you see like even my first video here, you know, has a bunch of thousands of views. What you don't see is all of the like 50 videos before this that I deleted so that it didn't fuck with the algorithm. Because I wanted, when somebody clicks here on my channel and then they go to the rest of my channel, all they see is videos that are relevant to them, and then their journey is simple from there. I didn't want all of my old videos that are just like me fucking around with music, or me doing quick little one-off gags, or me reviewing anime or whatever, right? I tried a whole bunch of stuff down here and it didn't work. I was new. I had to learn, I had to grow, I had to develop all of my skills. It worked out. It's worked out, and it's a beautiful thing. It feels great when it works out. I want that for you. That's why I'm talking to you in this video. So there's more topics that we can cover eventually at some point, but this is, I think if you take everything that I've talked about in this video and you go and you try to apply it, I really do think that it's going to work out for you. Make videos for people. Do not make it for an algorithm. Try to help people. I think it's that simple. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so very much for watching, especially if you watched all the way to the end, leave a comment. Let me know that you did, all right? Peace.